Hey folks, Dan from Custom Creations. Haven't had a lot of videos lately. Been working on a few little things. I'll kind of walk you through. Did this one for a friend of mine. He's a big Harley lover. So that's just a gift for him. Here's one, this no coffee, no workie. And this has actually turned into something that I've used for scrap. So let me show you here. This is a small version of it. You can see with the hand, it's not much bigger than a hand. And so I'm working with a little coffee shop to give them that one sign to put up, the big one, and then just, leave some of these with them. And if they sell them for a couple bucks, maybe they can charge $3-4 and give me 2 for each one. And what I'm basically getting these out of is any place I have room on scrap when I'm cutting stuff out, I just cut those out. So they're a good little item to, take up some of the scrap that I've got. Been working on a few more. Here's a little bigger, no coffee, no workie. I've got them all different sizes. Dog mom. Been doing a bunch of religious, some Christian stuff. There's a cool cross with a face of Jesus in it. That's kind of cool. Been doing some of those, but I also got a bigger one. See if I can back out to show you this thing. That thing is about, 13 inches high, about 44 inches wide. And actually I laid it down on this table just to kind of give me some room. And I thought, what, that looks pretty cool in there. If I was a little better working with wood, and if you've seen some of my stuff before, wood and I don't get along. But if I was a little better, I might take that wood out of that and put some kind of a background, maybe a white background behind it, and then get a piece of glass to stick over it and see if that wouldn't sell, along with the table. That, or since I do metal work, I'd be glad to make maybe a bar frame, wet bar, and stick that on top, and maybe do some sort of epoxy coating on top of it, see if something like that might work. The only other thing I've been working on is I've got this old Harbor Freight bandsaw. It's a wood cutting bandsaw, and I've had that thing for, I bet I've had that for 30 years. And I finally, since I don't do a lot of wood, I'm going to turn that sucker into a little metal cutting bandsaw, which means I had to slow it way down. I've got this nice big do-all bandsaw, but I usually keep a blade in that that's pretty coarse, so it's not good for cutting tubing and, thin-walled kinds of things. So first of all, I just put a variable frequency drive in this thing, hoping that I could slow it down, put a 3-phase motor on it. It still wasn't slowing up. So I actually wound up having to buy a 5-to-1 speed reducer and stick on the end of the motor. Well, of course, that meant I had to make some new way of mounting that motor because I had to turn it the other direction. But it's working really great. And so I buy my blades from a place here actually in Tennessee called Blade Serpent, and they provide this nice bandsaw speed chart. Well, I've modified that so that you got your feet per minute, but then I've got a VFD setting that I've put in there so I can look at, say here, low carbon steel, maybe 1018 steel, and see that I've got to set the blade speed to be 270 feet per minute, which turns out that I set the VFD to 77.6. Come down here, and that's where it's at now. But just set it to 77.6. Actually, I just leave it close, 78. And there it goes. And so now with 1018, works great. And it's a real fine tooth blade, 24 inches or 24 teeth per inch. So I cut real thin, like stainless tubing that's only, maybe 40 thousandths. There's a guy that I cut some tubing that he uses for exhausts on jet skis, and I cut out pie shapes for him. So that's helped a lot. So that's been something that's taken me a little while to fabricate and figure out how to make that 5-to-1 speed reducer work. Yeah, so that's been fun. The other thing I've done is I've made up, let's turn around here without getting you dizzy. I've been building these, they're basically stands for glass project. As you know, my wife does fused glass, stained glass, and these are just little stands, little holders. They're made from angle iron, small 1/2-inch angle iron with a base on the bottom. And so my wife's actually making a piece that's going to fit in there right now. It's a sunflower on a backing piece that's red. It's going to look good. Right now it's in the kiln, so you'll have to wait till she gets it out of the kiln to see what it looks like. So I wanted to give you a little update. Nothing major, no real big projects, but just I haven't made a video for so long, I thought I'd go ahead and share a couple of those things. Okay, thanks a lot.